Every college athletics program needs a trailblazer, and for JU women's golf, that was Jessica Welch. Starting 3 years ago when head coach Jennifer Burrows came along and allowed JU to have a separate men's and women's coach for the first time in school history, Jessica has seen her game develop along with that of the program. Now, her senior year, she was able to go out, win just about every award under the sun, both at JU and in the Atlantic Sun Conference, and for the first time ever, compete in an NCAA regional, a first for any women's golfer from the First Coast. Now she's not done, even though having enjoyed the last month or so of the season, heck, her senior season as a whole, for the fun that you can have out on a golf course when you're as dialed in as Jessica was. She's coming back because she feels like she's got something else to get back to the program that helped make her who she is.
Coaches are always looking for an edge in recruiting. JU women's golf coach Jennifer Burrows might have the ultimate trump card.
Well, in recruiting, it's really second to none. I don't know a more well-known facility that teams practice at. It's really, you're like on a vacation when you're out there. And to bring people out there and then they kind of see that, and you're not coming to work every day. You're out there to have fun, and what better place to do it than TPC Sawgrass.
Long before she was setting records and paving the way for a young team as a senior captain, Jessica Welch had to make the plunge from North Georgia to Jacksonville to start her career.
I think there is something about Florida that's just built for golf, especially we get to practice at TPC. It's kind of, facilities like that are kind of hard to beat.
She fit the model of a golfer at JU perfectly.
Looking to get better every day and kind of that drive. And a big thing for us is, the family is good, the kid is good, and is not going to bring a lot of drama to the table. And the family's supportive. That's one thing that's really cool with a lot of our families is they're all out at our tournaments watching. They travel well with us. I think we have at least one family at every tournament, so that's great. And then, going to Jacksonville University, it's big to have good academics. So typically you're going to have, better kids, when the academics are strong.
Thanks to that strong work ethic and coaching, she has seen her game develop significantly over the last 4 years.
I've learned so much more on the mental aspect. I think I've gotten so much mentally tougher, and I've learned how to shape shots and visualize shots and learn how to let bad shots go and just trying to be a grinder. As coaches called us before, we're grinders, we're mutters, We know how to hang in there when it's not going great, and I think that's something that I've learned how to do over the past couple of years.
That mental aspect has been a challenge for the analytically inclined kinesiology major.
You have to analyze, but at the same time, you can't overanalyze, just because golf is such a unique sport to where, in most other sports, if you want to do better, you have to, play harder. And obviously, you play harder on the golf course, but you have to think less, because you have to let it just come naturally. Like, I know for me, when I'm walking down the fairway, when I'm not hitting or not getting ready to hit a shot, I'm usually have a song in my head, that kind of thing, So you have to learn how to turn your focus on and off, because once you get to the shot, you got to zero in. But at the same time, when you're not, you can't wear your mind out thinking about it the whole time.
Welch started setting records this past year, eventually being named Scholar Athlete of the Year and Golfer of the Year in the Atlantic Sun, both first for the JU program. Not stopping there, she became the first female collegiate golfer from the First Coast to participate in an NCAA regional.
We must celebrate this because this student athlete is of the humility and the respect and the grace. She would not celebrate it herself. This young lady represents everything great about college and student athletics. You can see her accomplishments here. We're honored that she's coming back to be a graduate assistant to the golf team next year. She is the daughter of a high school athletic coach from Livonia, Georgia. She's our own Jessica Welch. And Jessica, it doesn't matter if you get selected. You're already a champion.
We will go to Jacksonville University.
Words can't really express what she has meant to the program. She's broken all the school records. She set the bar really high. She sets a very good example both on and off the golf course, graduating, magna cum laude, university honors, 3.8 GPA. So She's very good in the classroom, works extremely hard, is a great leader and a great mentor for the future.
That was so special. Just all the people that came, that was amazing. That was, and I'm so grateful that they did, because you don't want to be up on the pedestal by yourself just because it's no fun. But yeah, that was a special night. That was fun.
Welch is well respected by not just those at JU, but her competitors as well.
It shows how hard she works. She, is very deserving of everything that she's earned, and it shows. I got a lot of emails from coaches in the conference that were, congratulating Jess, and so that's good to see. It says a lot about her character, and she's well liked throughout the conference and really throughout the college golf ranks.
Part of that respect is due to her humility.
I'm very humbled, very grateful to everybody who's helped me along this way, and for picking me in the first place. And I guess to put it into words would be just to say thank you.
She finished up her college career with a top 25 finish at the regional in Raleigh, but she is not putting golf behind her. She'll start as the grad assistant at JU in the fall.
She comes from a family. Her dad's recently retired as a high school football coach, so she kind of comes from that mindset anyway, has that interest, is a great example and a great mentor to the girls every day. She leads by example, both in the classroom and on the course, works tirelessly every day, and that's really what it takes. Has that dream to play on the LPGA Tour, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, working as hard as she does, that's a great influence on what's coming in.
Now she's focused on helping to continue moving the program in the right direction.
I think it's so important to be not only mentally strong, but I think you have to come in with almost like a fire. You can't come in, you can't get complacent. You got to come in every day ready to improve. And I think that's something that everybody needs to know. All right, today's a new day. What do I need to get better on today? How can my game improve? That kind of thing. Just get the ball rolling right from the start.
Thanks to Jessica's success on the course, her coach might not have to go to the recruiting trump card as often anymore.
It definitely helps when recruits are seeing that you're making progress. Obviously it'd be better if a team went to the regionals, but having an individual is a start, and I think it's going to do a lot of good things for us. It gets Jacksonville out there. There's a lot of people that have no idea Jacksonville University exists, and we're in a great golf community, like I said, and the facilities we have access to and what we're doing is really special, and I think it's going to do a lot for our program.
You'll never guess it, but Coach Ron Griggs got the ladies of the track and field team running fast yet again. Fresh off of their 10th straight outdoor track and field conference championship and another strong showing at the NCAA regionals, JU's heading back to Oregon, being represented by 4 Dolphins competing in 2 different events. Shanique and Courtney Walker, Shade Campbell, and Jamisha Richard will represent the 4x1 team, and their camaraderie and teamwork is what makes them so special.
Throughout the whole thing, you have to trust that they're going to get out on time. You have to trust that they're going to run through the zone to hand it off on time. Trust that that person's going to put their hand back exactly when the timing is right. And especially we don't say anything, so it's all just like, you know when to go, they know when to put their hand back, and you just trust that it's going to go smoothly.
You got to be able to trust that they're going to do what they're supposed to do before you get around the track and the fast time that you're supposed to do.
I already trusted them, but fully putting my trust in them. So me just coming out here, instead of me feeling like I'm always doing something wrong because they've been together so much and I'm the new person, I just had to get in my head that it's a team thing.
We all kind of are like sisters. We've been, 3 of us have been together since freshman year, and so it's kind of good to just have grown together and getting to know each other better throughout the year. So the trust is like just been there, and so I guess that kind of brings us together.
If the timing is off, then the exchange is off, and that can throw everything off.
The relationship on the track is very important, but I think the relationship outside of track is also as important, because if you don't have that trust just overall, you just won't be able to get the work done like as you're supposed to.
When your coaches and your teammates believe in you, it pushes you a lot harder, and it gives you a lot more encouragement to say, like, you know, we can do this and we will do this, because it's not only y'all believing in yourselves, you have other people behind you believing in you.
They always inspire me and influence me to just stay positive through it all, because I really was down last year after I got hurt. So it's just good to have them to support me and just build me back up and just take me to this point in the season.
We're just like, so excited. Like, we'll just like walk in and see each other. We're going to Oregon. Like, just, you know, just like little stuff. Because we know, like, we're so happy. Like, after the meet, we were like calling everyone, we made it to Oregon, we made it to Oregon. We're just like, can you guys believe we made it?
Student athletes already practice together and many times live together, so shouldn't they study together? JU and the new leaders in the Student Services Department certainly think so. The creation of the new academic center on campus. Many of those new leaders coming from larger institutions mean that they have some larger and bolder ideas, but for now, we're already seeing the benefits. Student athletes' performances in the classroom are much closer mirroring those successes that they already have on the field.
Coming from larger universities, I knew immediately that we needed to bring up our academic unit. We needed to have an academic center where student athletes could come and study and feel like it was really an area for them, especially in the area of recruiting. Your academic center plays a huge role, not just for the student athletes, but also the parents. And that was something JU didn't have at the time. So I thought it best to bring that as soon as possible. That way we could be up there in the big leagues, if you will, in terms of recruiting and academic support. When I first came here, I did a walkthrough of the building, and I said this would be an ideal space because it wasn't used at all. And teaming up with Alex Wicker-Gilbert, our Associate AD of Compliance and Student Athlete Services, we thought it best that this should be that space because we did not have one. It literally took a walkthrough with him and then a walkthrough with Dr. Horner, our Chief Athletics Officer, and when we realized that this is going to be our space. And we had a timeline set for spring of 16, so it was amazing that it's already starting to develop as early as this past spring, which was huge, and I just look forward to see what's coming for the fall of 15, actually.
I think it's very beneficial because, you know, Lauren has a background of working with, you know, student athlete services at other big universities, and I have the experience of being a student athlete at, you know, similar smaller universities, and then working at kind of like the same size university. So my vision is kind of being on the inside of a student athlete's head. So thinking of how they think of, what they think about study table, what do they think about tutoring, what do they benefit from the resources, kind of the resources that I benefited from and the resources that I didn't get that I would like to install here at JU. So I think that vision right there of former student athlete knowing the ins and outs and now being on the other side gives me a great upper hand to help our department grow and develop.
I think the fact that we have the space so close to their coaches makes it a lot easier for coaches to pull them if they need them, and vice versa. If they're in a meeting with a coach, I can walk over to the coach's office and just say, hey, come stop by, we need to talk academics. It's easy to have this one athletic building where we're all held because it's a space where the student athletes know this is where I come for my coaching, this is where I come to meet with my academic advisor, and this is where I come for all student athlete support areas. When I first arrived, we did not have a space. So our student athletes were studying on their own in their rooms and not really getting that time that they needed. And just looking at the GPA comparisons, if you will, from the fall of 14 to the spring, our overall team GPAs went from a 2.9 to above a 3.1, which is a huge advancement just within a given semester change. And that in itself speaks volumes. All of our teams increased their overall GPAs from the fall of 14 through the spring of 15. And larger teams, even such as that of football, went from 2.5 GPAs to a 2.89 GPA, which is huge for a football program, even of our magnitude.
I think it's growing. When I first came here, there were no tables or chairs and no computers, so now we have all of those things. As we continue to get the vision there and the mindset, little things keep coming every week or every month. Compared to other academic centers at this level, Division I, kind of AA schools, I think we're headed in the right direction of what we need. Nothing too big, nothing too small, just the right area for the amount of student athletes that we have. And we want to provide, first of all, the resources, and then kind of spruce it up with a little decor and a lounge and things like that, just to make it more homey when they come in for people that are not just in study hall. Like I said, it's a student athlete center, so they can come in and use the computers, get books from our library, things like that. So I think we're headed in the right direction to stay at the level of competition for people in our conference and at this level.
The biggest thing is I want to continue to amplify what we're doing for our student athletes. We started off with 5 desks and not even enough chairs to seat the amount of student athletes that we have. And now we have enough to sit 50 in a given area. We have 4 desktops, 6 laptops, and we're expecting another 20 additional laptops to come. We're going to do a group study area, in which case we can have group studying taking place, if you will. We'll have whiteboards where they can do kinesiology projects, biology projects, statistics, math, so on and so forth. So it's just continuing that development to increase positive education. Outside of that, we have to have a little fun. All the universities I've been to, they've had a student athlete lounge. And we've taken it up a notch, and speaking with Dr. Horner, he believes that we should do the same here for JU, in which case right outside of our double doors, which will also have swipe access, so the student athletes can come and go as they please, and it will just be a space for the student athletes, we'll have a lounge area that will have a television playing ESPN and whatever is going on in our local news, but just a place where the student athletes can go so they can know it's not always about business. We can have a little bit of fun too, because we need that balance, if you will, to stay motivated and be active in the classroom. We expect to have quite a bit more by fall 15. We're still working on the laptops and just the doors and our swipe access. The goal is to have laptops and swipe access before the start of fall 15 on August 24th. And that's just because we will have a lot more students coming into this area, since we'll be bringing it out of the library. All of our tutoring services will still take place there, but study hall will move to this building primarily. That way we can just keep track of exactly what's going on, and we'll see anywhere from 10 to 40 plus student athletes in this area. So we want to make sure we have that swipe access before fall 15, and we'll just continue to monitor it that way. Other than that, we'll also have grades first, which is huge. It's almost having another person on staff, in which case we'll be able to log hours, track study hall, track tutoring, monitor tutoring, and just make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. Another facet, which I'm really proud and excited about, is that we're going to have the ASUN Student Athlete Services Assistant on board, and they'll start as soon as August 1. Applications are coming in steadily right now. We're just really excited to have another member of our team who can help out, considering we have well over 400 plus student athletes. So it's nice to bring on not only grades first eventually, but that other actual body here that will help student athletes not only during the daytime hours, but at nighttime. They'll be here to monitor study hall just to make sure it's running smoothly and people aren't goofing off. Our SACs, so if you will, it's our Student Athlete Advisory Committee. We never really had a place where we could meet, where we could have full numbers on board, and now that we have this unit, we're able to bring in 30 to 40 students, provide meals for them and everything when we have our meetings. That's one area. Second piece is that I love seeing the student athletes come in here and actually utilizing the facility, and that to me is a tangible item, if you will, from the beginning. Whether they are using it just to come watch YouTube videos or just to do anything, as long as they have a space where they can come to feel like they're actually getting away. I work with men's basketball, and a lot of the times you hear, Lord, I'm just glad we have a space to not be near coaches. So it's nice to actually have a space that they enjoy outside of academics, once again, where they can come and sit down and relax, and then at the end of the day, be about business, where their GPAs will increase, where their grades will increase, and where they feel like they're actually getting something out of JU.
I think they're very appreciative of everything we've done. You know, there's been, a little resistance with, study table and our AEP meetings, but the coaches, they've loved it. The results show the GPA's been higher in the spring than it was in the fall. The student athletes are liking the center now. Even though it isn't as big as we want it to be, they like that they can come here and work on the computers, and they like that we provide them tutors. They just like that we're here now to provide that support, whether it be just talking to them about life, or going to their games, or just having questions that they can't reach maybe their regular academic advisor. They could come to us and we can answer those same questions for them. So I think they're very appreciative of us being here and the support services that we've been offering this spring.
They really like the fact that this is a place where they are technically the only people allowed here, and I can attest to that, to the fact that I've unfortunately had to kick some non-student athletes out just because we want it to be a space where our student athletes can focus, because they all are on pretty much the same schedules academically and athletically. So they love just having this area where they can come, do work, and they use the word grind, because that's actually what they're doing in their day-to-day.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of JU Dolphins Up Close. We hope you enjoyed this first season of us giving you unparalleled access into the Jacksonville University Athletic Department. Until the fall, I'm Scott Manzi, voice of the Dolphins, bidding you good night.